Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We're your hosts. I am Scott. Joining me as always, he's been lacing up those running shoes. It's Zachary Alvidrez. I don't usually say your last name.
You never say my last name.
Should I redo that?
No, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, all right. Everyone knows. Yeah, people look you up, and now you're just gonna get stalked. So,
yeah, apparently that's
that's
a thing. Yeah. How'd you know I used to run track in high school?
Dude, you ran specifically snow
long
track.
Distance. Yeah,
long distance snow track. There's a special kind of like snow running shoes, I believe. Very fancy. You are the speediest lad in all the land, except
the speediest, icy, snowy boy, except for
Gendry. That dude on some next level shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He sure is.
That's all I could.
We're gonna
really
talk
say
about that.
This whole episode is. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Nope. I did the intro, so it's I ask you first. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm doing great,
How
man.
you doing, Scott? That I sent after you now.
They're outside my window with the radio.
Just doing little scratchies at the window.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, how's your week been, pal?
It's been good. I've been chilling.
Yeah.
Honestly, not a whole lot has been going on. Been very busy with work. Have been doing lots of responsible things with work. That's just it. Had some friends in from out of town, actually work friends that I got to meet for the first time. Got to meet up with them, and that was cool.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thanks for being proud of me, bud.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, to be honest, really not a whole lot has been going on. However, I am very excited. I'm going to ask you about this in just a moment.
Oh, sure.
But I'm also very excited because I am going to go see Oppenheimer this weekend.
Hell yeah.
And I know that you have already seen it.
I have.
And I want you to just like very briefly, no spoiler, quick hitting, just tell me what you thought of the movie.
It was excellent. Cillian Murphy, I wouldn't say hard carries because like all the performances are excellent, but I mean, the movie's called Oppenheimer. It is about him and his life.
It's about Cillian Murphy.
Yes, it's about him. He is fantastic. It's long as hell, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah, that's
also what she said.
I can't wait for you to see it so we can talk about it. Definitely better than his last movie, Tenet, which I did not love. But
sure, yeah. I still have yet to see Tenet.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. I thought you had seen it.
Nope. It's weird because there was never, other than the fact that it's Christopher Nolan, like there was never a
desire,
like it just something about it never really caught me and like hooked me in to see it. I need to though. I mean, it's not fair that I haven't watched it at least to give it a try.
Don't expect a lot, except maybe to be confused. The movie's not great. Like I love Nolan to death, but that movie's just not great.
I mean, what is that? Like 1 out of 11?
It's like something
it's
like
fine.
that.
It's okay.
For sure.
He gets 1.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And I don't hold it against him. I try not to.
Can you hold it against me?
My boy Dany has not missed, so Dany might be taking the lead.
Yeah,
Let's see how Dune Part 2 goes. I'm very excited for that.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be spectacular.
I'm sure it's going to be spectacular.
Did I ever get around to telling you that I finally got Amanda to watch Dune?
You told me you were watching it with her. I'm sorry, what?
She didn't like it.
That don't make no sense.
I think that there's a big part of it that was like, it was ultra hyped, and I never let her like forget that like this movie is incredible. Why haven't you watched it for like the past year and a half?
Yeah.
And she was like, the movie's good, but like it just wasn't that. And I'm like, well, you're wrong, but fine.
That movie's incredible. Also, like, I enjoy it watching it later at home, but it also can't live up to like the theater experience for a movie like that as well. Like seeing it in theaters is especially if anyone's on the fence about Oppenheimer, to like go see that shit in the theaters for like the atomic bomb sequence, if nothing else. Like, holy hell.
What? There's an atomic bomb?
I know. Sorry, spoilers. Big spoilers. But yeah, Dune is great. Amanda's crazy. That's where I land on that.
She's ridiculous. That movie is absurdly good.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else? I mean, how else are you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Aside from that, I'm a pro at I consider myself a seasoned veteran, a real pro at wasting time. But I don't know. So it's my weekend, and I'm now like 2 days into my 3-day weekend here, and I have done nothing. Like, I don't even know where the time has gone. I have done literally nothing.
You deserve it, bud.
I haven't even, like, usually that would be like, oh, I played some video games and watched some stuff. I haven't even done that. I don't know what I don't know what I have done.
It's
I
all right,
couldn't tell
man.
you.
It's okay.
So
it happens, and it's deserved. You are always up to shit. Even though it's always in your apartment, you're always up to something.
I'm all up to that hood rat shit.
Hell
is
yeah,
that what
my
you wanted
guy.
to do? I think I fell
guy.
through a wormhole. That's what I'm going to go with. Since we're on like Oppenheimer quantum theory shit, I fell through a wormhole. So
Can I fall through your hole?
Oh, there it is. And
Yeah.
we're back.
We're back. I have a quick shout out that I would like to give.
Okay, sure.
I have already shared this with you, and I
yeah.
just felt it necessary to share in the pod because stuff like this just makes us so happy. So a while back, I'm talking like
A long while.
for you OG fans, Scott and I were in the middle of, I think, book 4, maybe book 5, when this conversation of Harry Potter, right? Sorry. When this conversation took place, but we had a listener of the pod, a wannabe, named Madison or Maddie, reach out, and she just expressed her enjoyment. She was having a good time with the show. We got to chatting. We talked about podcasting, and she expressed that she would really like to start a podcast. And it was just a nice chat. It was just cool. You know how much we love connecting with you guys. Fast forward to now, maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, Madison and her friend Kayla have started their own podcast called Opinions from Overthinkers.
That's a great name.
It's a great name.
I don't think we talked about this specifically, but that is a phenomenal name for a podcast. I would love to go back in time and steal that. Legitimately, it's so good.
It's very good, very good, and they sound great. They're having a good time. They're talking about shit that we love. They do an episode about Legend of Zelda. They talk about Pixar. They talked about their favorite book to movie, like screen adaptations. Just good content. They're funny. Good. Seem like great people, and they felt the need to shout us out and just Maddie just commented on our conversation from back then, and just that kind of stuff just like really makes us feel good. So we wanted to say on the podcast in front of all you wannabes, we really do care about you guys when you guys message us. It's really just it makes our day. And also, Maddie and Kayla, we hope you guys find success and happiness and have a good time doing your podcast. It sounds great, and we're happy that we got to in some way be a part of that.
Hell yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah. That does mean a lot. Like, just that little bit of affirmation can go a long way sometimes, even those of us like me that pretend we don't need it. It still feels good, It still feels good.
I constantly, he'll never let anybody see because it's always under the table, but I've always got to reach under the table and give him a quick handy. Like Scott needs to feel something.
I just need to feel alive sometimes. That's great stuff. Appreciate them for sure. And the shout out. And so, hey, keep doing what you love. That's fun.
You ready to do this thing?
Was there anything else, or shall we get to this? Oh, so shall we preface this with the special thing that we got going on here?
Oh, what is the thing we got going on?
We are going to be reading for the first time in probably years. I don't know actually how long. We are reading a Zach original recap. For those of you that don't know, we used to take turns a long time ago, like writing the recaps, but then I just kind of started doing it every time because Well, because I'm better at it. Let's just be real. No, I'm kidding. It was actually because Zach does most of the editing these days, so I was like, I'll take this on. But Zachy Boy just out of the blue was like, all right, this one for us here. I've tried not to read ahead because I think he's got some bangers in there. But I'm excited for this. I'm very excited. So why don't you hit us, buddy?
You just putting the pressure on me.
Yeah,
now I've got stage fright to read these fucking notes,
dude. I have to overhype this shit, just like Dune for Amanda.
Yeah, truly. Well, this is Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6, Beyond the Wall. We begin with our blundering band of brothers and buffoons
I love the
hiking through the real north. I don't know what my notes say already.
Hiking through the north.
Hell yeah, dude.
Say. Hell yeah.
Tormund makes Gendry think he's going to have sex with him in order to stay warm. Gendry reopens old wounds with the boys, only to realize that he should be thankful for his treatment by Melisandre.
True.
As the Suicide Squad continues their trek, we get many shots that highlight the beauty of the North, as well as many shots that highlight how short Kit Harington is compared to literally everybody else. Jon and Jorah talk about their fathers, and Jon attempts to pass Longclaw on to Jorah, but Jorah declines and says he brought shame to his house. At Winterfell, Sansa and Arya reminisce about the good old days before Arya bamboozles the shit out of Sansa by expressing that she thinks Sansa is somehow responsible for her father's death, and reveals that she has the letter she sent to Robb. Back in the True North, the Hound and Tormund become best friends, and Tormund tells us that he likes dick, or something like that.
Zach
there's
loves
those dick jokes,
yeah,
dude. I'm just
loves the dick jokes.
Beric and Jon bond over being dead boys and discuss their faith and purpose or something. The Hound recognizes the mountain from his fire vision and says that they're getting close.
He should recognize the mountain. It's his brother. Sorry, I just had to pepper that one in.
That wasn't a joke in the script, but Scotty Westside is on fire. On Dragonstone, Dany talks about how stupid men are.
True.
And Tyrion points out that Jon totally wants to bang Dany, but Dany says that he's too little for her. But that's only because she doesn't know what that mouth do.
What does that mouth do, Zach? What'd that mouth do? Oh.
That thing you do with your tongue.
Oh, our fucking girl could tell us what that mouth do.
Dude,
or
your
my girl. Rose
your
Leslie.
Girl.
Hell yeah.
Dany and Tyrion discuss meeting with Cersei and the risks involved. When Tyrion advises against ruling with fear, Dany talks about how far Aegon Targaryen got with fear. Is this a sign? Could it be?
Nah, bro.
We may never know.
We'll never know.
Tyrion goes on to tell Dany that she's a child who loses her temper all the time, and Tyrion attempts to discuss Daenerys' succession, and Dany throws a fit about it. Back in the North, again, Wildling Extra number 6 gets killed by a bear wight. Thoros... Dude, this spelling is fucking awful. Thoros and Beric activate their trap cards and set the bear on fire, saving the Hound. But Thoros gets mauled and doesn't die?
No.
Nah. Good thing that flaming sword gives +2 to death save rolls.
You're such a fucking nerd.
Back in Winterfell, Sansa confides with Littlefinger about her recent issues with Arya. Littlefinger suggests the dumbest possible plan, and Sansa all but agrees.
All right. Back in the North, again, our troop comes across a band of wights led by a single White Walker. They ambush and kill the White Walker, and all the wights fall dead except for one, conveniently. I had more or less the same exact note in my recap. Before they're able to restrain and quiet the wight, it lets out a shriek that notifies the rest of the army. Jon somehow knows that... Gendry ran long-distance track in high school and sends him all the way back to Eastwatch to get a raven to Dany. Jon and co find safety on a rock in the middle of the lake, keeping the wights at bay for now. Gendry makes it back to the wall miraculously and is retrieved by the Night's Watch. At the frozen lake, the Hound kicks the captured wight, and we learn that the rest of the army has a kind of hive mind as they all react to the kick. Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, that's weird.
Thoros is found dead in his sleep, and the squad does the old makeshift funeral and burns his body. Beric suggests Jon try and kill the Night King, but Jon says, nah.
Nah, bro, that ain't me.
That ain't me, bro. Gendry, super speed Gendry is our only hope. In Winterfell, Sansa follows Littlefinger's dumb advice and sends Brienne to represent her in King's Landing, despite Brienne's warnings that Sansa's... was that following his advice?
Yeah, he's basically saying that Brienne is sworn to, like, basically saying that Sansa thinks that Brienne is only sworn to her, but she's actually sworn to both of the daughters. So he's basically suggesting that she get rid of Brienne for a little while.
That's
because
not how I read that, but you may be right.
I'm definitely right.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Despite Brienne's warnings that Sansa's unsafe with Littlefinger, yeah. On Dragonstone, Dany upsets Tyrion by leaving for the frozen lake using her built-in pinpoint GPS tracker that she just had installed on Dragon.
Dude, autocorrect, bro. I don't write these notes.
Yeah. Back at the lake in the north, the Hound throws a rock at a wight and says his favorite word. What word is that, Zach? I can't remember.
We can't say that on YouTube,
I already know what it is. Who knows? We say it all the time. The wights realize the lake is frozen solid again and begin their advance on the group as they ready for battle. Tormund is saved by the Hound as the group are forced up the rock. Wildling Extra number 7 gets killed. No. No, not Wildling Extra number 7. We needed him. We get a slow-mo battle montage just as Dany and her Dagrons arrive.
Her Dagrons.
Just as all was well, and our hero, what the fuck? And our heroes were being saved. The Night King has a dragon-sized javelin prepped and ready and kills Viserion. The dragon flying through the sky instead of the bigger dragon sitting still on the ground that is carrying all our heroes because, reasons. Jon falls through the ice as the rest of our heroes make our escape. Jon doesn't have hypothermia as he climbs out of the water. Just as Uncle Benjen. Is that Uncle Benjen's music I hear? Benjen sends Jon on his horse back to the wall while he stays to fend off the wights. Jon somehow arrives back at Eastwatch shortly after Dany and the squad. We don't know that for sure. Time is non-existent in this episode.
No, you're right.
Back at Winterfell, Sansa goes snooping and finds... Okay, this one's my favorite. Sansa goes snooping and finds Arya's Spirit Halloween collection. That's so good. And Arya insists on playing the Game of Faces and gives Sansa a very ominous villain monologue. That does happen. In the Narrow Sea, Jon gives Dany some bedroom eyes as he apologizes for getting Dany's dragon killed. Daenerys swears to destroy the Night King, and Jon swears fealty to her after she's already sworn to help them. Back at the frozen lake, the Night King happens to find some industrial-sized chains at the discount hardware store and resurrects his shiny new toy. Seto Kaiba would be just so jealous.
So jealous. That blue eyes white dragon. Holy shit, Zach. I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was a fucking train wreck, but I loved it. It's been so long since I've gotten to be surprised by the bullshit we put in these recaps. Hell yeah.
And I think we could just end the episode there.
Yeah, I think we should just stop there, bud.
I think we should just stop there. Because, boy, this is... Why... Okay, we have enough episodes
This is why?
Yeah, see,
exactly.
Now, we have enough episodes of Game of Thrones to do, Zach. Why did we do this, fan-made fan fiction episode? I don't understand. Dude. Whose idea was that? Whose fucking call was that?
So bad, dude. It's just this is the Ryan Johnson like.
Oh my god, yes, fucking yes. This is
so bad.
when I remember and think, oh, season 7 is bad. This is the episode that always comes to mind.
Yeah,
and I came into this episode with extremely low expectations, knowing, oh, this is where they go beyond the wall. I'm pretty sure I hate this. And it still somehow disappointed me. It's fucking
not great, man.
Terrible.
Yeah. It's a bad episode.
It's the laziest writing, I think, in this series.
I would 100% agree with that.
How much do you want to go through this, like, play by play? Because it's like it's so much of just like
back and forth.
Here's what these dipshits are talking about, and they're on their little trek, and now,
why don't we talk about some of the things, if anything, that we did enjoy? Were there any conversations that you liked in this?
There's one scene I liked, and it's oddly enough, it's Tyrion and Daenerys.
The secession one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
I think this is the one good scene in the entire episode.
Okay, well, let's just run shorthand through what happens here.
Okay.
Because we don't want to bore you guys. We don't want to make you guys annoyed listening to us bitch about this episode. Yeah. But we will highlight some of the things. We've said this before. We want to be critical, but also like not hate it just for the sake of hating it. Like if there are things that we think are just
objective as possible.
Yeah, if there are things that we think are objectively bad, we'll explain why we think that. But we're not here to spend that much time on that because we want to not hate ourselves after the next hour.
I don't have anything much good to say about all the back and forth between the boys as they make their trek.
Yeah.
Aside from the Jon and Jorah one, I think that one was fine and needed to happen. Like,
sure.
You should probably have that conversation. He's got the family Valyrian sword hanging out.
The thing that like really is just so baffling is that, like, prior to this coming out, if somebody had told me, dude, can you imagine those scenes that we're going to get when all of these characters get together? Isn't that going to be a good time?
Yeah.
I would have been like, fuck, yes, that would be so cool. But now that it's here, it's like, why are we here?
It's fucking, it legitimately feels like fan fiction. That agree. Might be an insult to fan fiction. I'm not even sure.
Well, we did have, oh God, now I can't remember. I think it was Hannah. Sorry if you are listening and it wasn't Hannah, but we had, I think it was Hannah that wrote that fan fiction from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
that was really good.
That was really good.
That's an insult to that fan fiction.
True. I think that's the only, like, boys conversation that I have anything good to say about. Did you want to hit?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think just as a whole, this whole thing is like, it's trying to take on this trope of, like, the unlikely brotherhood, right? And
no, they're trying so hard. They're trying way too hard.
Right. And within that trope, there's always, like, the weird, like, tensions and, like, sizing each other up, and, like, you always have the person who's, like, stone cold and the person who's happy-go-lucky, and they somehow become, like, homies. Like, it's trying to fill all of these shoes. But I've just never really seen it feel so forced. Like, this is just really, really, like, the work wasn't put in, I guess, like, for us to be here. It just seems off, man. I don't know. I guess maybe, I don't know if I'm articulating this well, but it just seems, like, so off.
I don't know how else. I think you're exactly right. I don't know how else to say it other than, like, what you said, forced. Like, I felt that in most scenes in this episode. We'll get to the Arya Sansa ones as well. It's like, this feels this forced like tension. Like,
I will say the Arya Sansa scenes seemed more forced than this shit. Like,
Yes.
the reason that these people are here is the stupid part. But
Yeah, true.
At the very least, their interactions seem somewhat true to character.
I suppose. Even then, even sometimes of those, I'm just like, I don't know if that
Dick.
goes quite.
I like it.
Yeah, Tormund especially does not seem like.
This is what happened. The writers were like, oh, people kind of think Tormund's really funny. Like, we should give him more of that. And
I don't know.
then they just like went way off the deep end and like made that his whole character. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I forgot to make this joke. I hated this episode so much that I'm drinking gin tonight. Straight, by the way.
Straight gin?
Straight, just
you
gin.
madman.
Yeah.
You must really hate it.
This episode's not good.
Drives him to drink the gin. Okay, what should we... I am looking through my notes. I do not... Okay, so do we want to, like... How do you want to approach this? Do we want to do, like, most of the North stuff and then go, like, to Winterfell? Or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do most of the North stuff, like, maybe up until, like, the lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why the fuck... Like... The convenience factor in this episode off the charts
absurd.
From like the very first encounter. I guess this is after the bear thing. I don't have much to say about the bear, but yeah, like
I do want to say something about the bear.
What do you want to say about the bear?
I just wanted to say that when we watched this episode for the first time, you and I had a conversation about like, oh man, like this could give us like some really interesting, cool, unique things that we can see from the Night King's army.
Sure. Because,
you know, like in the books, there's like wights are not just men, you know, they are like we see here, they're bears, there's like giant spiders, there's all kinds of shit.
There's a very iconic scene from the books where the Night's Watch fights a undead bear, and that's where I think they drew a lot of this from.
One thing is I can't recall, and I don't know if it's in the books or not, so I'm curious if you would know the answer to this, but are there like undead aquatic animals?
Maybe not specifically aquatic animals, but water is not like the kryptonite of fucking wights like it is in the show.
In the show, right.
Because there is talk of dead things in the water. Like there are definitely wights in the water at several points. So yeah, that's the whole water is not a thing. Like the way it's talked about in the books, it seems more like a Pirates of the Caribbean 1 situation where because they're dead, they can just like walk through the water. Yeah. No, ain't no thing. They don't need to breathe, you know, or anything like that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
But anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So I'm, you know, like there was some level of excitement the first time watching the episode because we're going into the unknown.
Right. It's the unknown. Sure.
And seeing the undead bear, or the white bear, was very like, oh, this is cool. Like
exciting.
It'd be cool to see this as like a part of their armies. But that's not really what we get here. It's just like a one-off thing. And
it's whatever.
It basically is a mechanic to like up the stakes. Like they need to have something to like overcome on their journey. So they have this, and then also it sets up Thoros dying.
Right.
But otherwise it ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever for me. I feel like it could have had more impact if they had just let Thoros die right there. Like I'm not
Thoros wasn't needed.
Right.
Like,
I'm not real
later.
mad about the fact that they had him wounded and then have him die later in the episode. But it's just like, if you're going to have him die later in the episode, like I kind of feel like you could have upped the stakes by just having him die right then and there, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. What is a big deal is the convenience factor. We'll talk about this a lot. Every single one of these fucking wights just disintegrates as soon as Jon kills that White Walker, except one extremely conveniently. And then Jon knows his best buddy Gendry is a fucking track star. And also, he knows that at Eastwatch, they have those specially trained instant transmission ravens that can, just go straight to Dragonstone like that.
Yeah.
And then he also knows that Daenerys was working on that strapping rocket boosters tech onto her dragons so she could get up there real quick as well. Jon knew all that, so he was like, we got this shit. Where I don't know what he was thinking was why did they run like the opposite way of Gendry? They're like, hey Gendry, get back to the wall, we're gonna go farther north because reasons. And then they trap themselves on this fucking frozen lake, and I'm like, what? The wall's that way, you just sent Gendry that way, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the thought process is in the writing room when they're like, this'll check out. This works. This totally works.
Maybe nobody will notice. That's definitely what happened. It is so just like unapologetic in how absurd and like unthought out this shit is. Like this episode is just like, I'm just gonna ram it in. I'm just gonna do it. No foreplay, no spit. It's just gonna happen, and we're all gonna have to deal with it.
When I was like preparing notes for this episode, I started. Do you know that YouTube channel, like CinemaSins?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh no, I do. I've seen a couple of their things come up.
Well, not to call anyone out, but I fucking hate that shit.
Okay.
Because it's like. I feel like it kind of maybe used to be good a long time ago, but anytime I see him, it's just like the nitpickiest, like little, just like things that aren't really problems, but like, oh, we're gonna sin this just because it's like, that's our thing, and we're gonna nitpick this fucking movie to death.
Sure.
I hate that kind of shit. Like there's...
So they're you with Harry Potter.
That's... listen... maybe. Anyway, my point being is with any media, there has to be some buy-in, some suspension of disbelief.
Sure.
On basically anything. And I try to...
A willingness to accept.
Yes, a willingness to accept. I try to have a willingness to accept on a lot of things. But this episode, like, just broke me on that. Because it's just like one fucking thing after the other. And it's too much. There's a limit to that, and they went way past it.
On that too, Scott. Like it's also not only is it just absurd in this episode, but it's so out of pocket for this show to be like that.
Oh, true. Also, yes.
Like if that was the caliber of the show that you're watching.
Right.
Was
true.
like, hey, like it's kind of gonna like, tiptoe on those like maybe cringy, maybe a little bit plot armory things, but like you can still enjoy it, right? Like there are shows like that people enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. But for a show
more over the top and ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But for a show like this that is like just the antithesis of that.
That was like its claim
so
to fame.
Crazy.
From season 1 was like, oh no, yeah. People will die. Anyone can die at any time.
Plot armor doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Like, it's wild, man.
It's not good. Let's see, where were we? Okay, you want to go? We're kind of to the lake. You want to go hit up Winterfell?
Yeah. I think that makes sense. So we have this Sansa and Arya scene.
Arya out of left field.
Dude, speaking of out of pocket.
You helped the Lannisters kill our dad. Full stop. I'm like, what the fuck did that come from?
So
I know she's got the letter, but it's still like, that's the leap you made? Holy shit.
Yeah. Agreed completely. It is. Oh man, we've talked about this before. Like this whole setup thing that happens between them, and either you think this is real, a real interaction, or you think it's a staged interaction based off of the way that this unfolds. Both of which are just
ridiculous.
Either they're masterminds who can tell the future, or they or not. Like, I just don't fucking get it, dude. It's so stupid.
In either scenario, it's stupid. Let me just put it that way. It doesn't matter
what I'm saying.
Which scenario you ascribe to. It's dumb either way.
Like, obviously, being fans of these characters, the knee-jerk response is like, "Oh, it's a ruse, it's a setup, right?"
Sure.
Like, you want to believe that. I want to believe that. I don't think it should have happened. Like, it's so dumb.
It's so ridiculous, dude.
It just doesn't work. So unbelievable.
She turns that shit up to 11 just instantly, bro.
Why not just make 10 louder, though?
These all go to 11.
These
Arya
all go
goes
to 11. Dude. But yeah, no, but these go to 11.
It's so absurd.
Yeah.
Out of pocket. I'm glad you brought up that phrase because this whole fucking episode is so out of pocket, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
We're not hip. Even. Yeah.
Gen Z, subscribe to us.
Oh, yeah. I think so. I was trying to be hip. I think somewhere in my notes I put something about, like, flex on the haters. Is that still cool?
I don't fucking know.
Anyway, what else happens? Then is this when Sansa goes snooping into Arya's spirit Halloween? Or no. There's the little finger shit.
She has the little scene with the little finger.
Right. Okay. So
let's talk about this.
Misread this apparently because I thought he was basically encouraging Sansa to get Brienne to kill Arya for her.
That's what I thought initially as well.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, wait. Maybe this is column A, column B thing.
Yeah, true.
Maybe he's suggesting that, and she is saying, well, I'm going to get her away.
So it doesn't have to come to that. Sure.
Because it's all part of the ruse that we want to believe, right?
Right.
Yeah,
they can't let Brienne in on the ruse, so if the ruse got too out of hand, Brienne might accidentally
probably
kill Arya when... Oh, no, it was a ruse, Brienne! God damn it!
Brienne, the most trustworthy person that has probably ever existed. They can't fucking tell her, hey, look...
Her fucking sword is named Oathkeeper! Oh, we can't trust Brienne. We can't trust her.
We fucking can't let her in on the ruse.
Kill Arya, bro.
She might kill.
Oathkeeper. I kept my oath, Lady Catelyn. Hell yeah.
Fuck, I killed your daughter, Lady Catelyn.
Oh my god.
Catelyn.
Hell yeah.
Catnip.
Katniss Everdeen.
Love a good Catelyn.
What are we even saying?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, so it's just a weird thing. And like,
so you're saying this is Littlefinger putting the little bug in Sansa's ear about what if Brienne turns on you because she's also sworn to Arya?
Yeah, he's like, hey, she's not just sworn to you, she's sworn to both of Lady Catelyn's daughters, right? And if one was in trouble, do you not think she would intervene, right? So that's how I kind of took it. And so whether it was Littlefinger's intent to have her send Brienne away, that's where Sansa ends up, is like, hey, I'm going to remove Brienne from the situation.
Okay, fair enough.
And sends her to King's Landing, which also was super fucked up because this is a totally fake letter. Like, what if Brienne shows up to King's Landing and just gets fucking killed for being like...
Wait, is it a fake letter?
It's totally a fake letter. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, they do all go to King's Landing at some point, right?
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah, no, that's real. I don't know.
Is it real?
That's gotta be. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? She does summon the North So maybe Sansa's just because that was an old letter. Like that came way earlier.
Well, that was the one you're talking about was from a long time ago. I think this is about the wight meeting. The hey, let's show off.
Oh,
that's what I assumed it was. Hey, we're bringing the proof.
Oh, I totally thought that like they were like, hey, we're just gonna fake this letter and send Brienne away.
She's gonna send Brienne on a wild goose chase. Listen, in this episode, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about Dragonstone, or do you want to save that because it's the? No, we should talk about it. We should talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I did enjoy this Tyrion and Daenerys scene because,
What that mouth do scene?
They both have to call out Port John and his fucking height. My guy cannot catch a break,
dude.
But it's so I appreciate Tyrion being like, oh yeah, he super loves you, bro, and also you love him too. And then listen, Tyrion, for all the L's he's taken and the terrible plans that we've given him plenty of shit about, I think it is wise of him to try and think about succession.
Because it's not just about who rules after she dies. It can also be a mechanic for an alliance.
Right.
Like, that's important.
But also, to his point, like, you're flying these fucking dragons into battle. You could die. And we need a contingency set up for that. And she's just like, nah.
She's a child.
See, I feel like you had a way more negative view of her specifically on that than I did here. I can see what you're saying a little bit. I viewed it more as like, I don't know if she really actually cares what happens after she's gone. She just wants it for herself, which I can kind of respect. She's not going to have kids. She, is very sure of that. What the hell? Whatever. After she's gone, what does she care?
That's, dude, that's a very good, like, character read on your part, I think. Like, kudos to you for like, I guess, reading it that way. Because it's so easy for me to just be very knee-jerk, like, annoying Daenerys. She's just being a child. But I think you're right, man. That's a good call out there.
Which, again, I kind of respect that play on her part. Where she did lose me was when Tyrion is like, you have been known to lose your temper, like with the Tarleys. And Daenerys is like, no. I was completely calm and rational when I burned those prisoners alive. No. I was completely calm and rational
it's
when I did that.
It's funny because you can literally see the fucking, like, thermometer, like, meter raising, like, as this conversation is happening.
It's happening, true. But it's just like, yeah, okay. You were completely calm and rational when you burned those prisoners of war. That's also not okay. That's also bad. Like, oh, Daenerys. Sometimes, again, one step forward, two steps back for her.
Truly.
Then she puts on her sick snow camo.
Good. Hey, credit where it's due. It's good costuming. I think it looks good.
Does look good. Yeah,
it does look very good. She looks good.
She rocks that skin.
Don't rock this skin.
Sounds weird out of context. I guess that's an Apex thing. She rocks that skin, bro. That sounds very creepy.
She got the legendary that's in the store.
Definitely.
She paid those Apex coins.
And then she straps her rocket boosters onto her
straps
dragons.
that pocket rocket
and off. They fucking go.
It's like a Sibian.
Do we want? We've already talked about it. But do we want to address? I'm not addressing that.
Please don't.
How fast? Has anyone Googled how fast ravens can fly? Like to like calculate how long they were sitting on this fucking rock.
Dude,
let's give Gendry the benefit of the doubt and said he got back to the wall in like an hour. Let's also give the dragons the benefit of the doubt and that they can fly very fast. What's the time on Raven flying like 1,000 miles?
At a minimum, they were there overnight, right? Because we see
because
it go because Thoros wakes up dead, right? That's a thing. But like, it's got to be several days.
I mean, they want you to believe it was only overnight for sure. But there were so many other better ways to do this, dude. I think that's where I come back to and makes me the most angry is like, why didn't Daenerys just like, you could already tell she was worried about Jon Snow.
When she
like
go
her
with
and
him.
Tyrion have that conversation. You have fucking dragons. Fly the fuck up there. There's no need to wait for this Gendry magic raven. There's no need.
Yeah.
There's so many other better ways that
you're
could have
absolutely
done
right.
this.
It would be more believable if she just showed up just because.
Yes.
No warning. If she just showed up, that would be better.
It would have been way more dramatic, way better written if like Gendry runs into some trouble and like he can't actually make it back to the wall. And they show that scene and then you're like, "Oh fuck, so what's going to happen then? Like Gendry didn't make it to the wall. Like how are they going to get saved here?" And then she just like forget that fucking scene where she climbs on the dragons and has the thing with Tyrion. Like she shows up because she was fucking worried about her lover boy. You know,
about her short king.
Hell yeah. Short king. Like, that's still not, like, listen, we came up with that in like 2 minutes. That's still not perfect or great.
That's still less time that was put into this fucking
But yes,
episode.
it's 1,000 times better than what they fucking went with. Also, Sandor, what are you doing? Why are you throwing rocks at the ice? Don't you know ice type beats rock?
Because plot.
It's just so many bad decisions all the way around, all the way down, dude.
Yeah. Also, how does Daenerys know exactly where they are? Like,
let's not.
Like, I want to read the raven that was sent. Like, how did she know?
Okay. Let's take a step back from that. How does Gendry, who's never seen snow before in his life, we established that this episode, traverse the north of the wall, which like hardened, seasoned Night's Watch Rangers die in all the time. Also, it's winter, by the way, now at this point. How does he navigate his way back to the wall?
It's because he only had to run one set over. You know, that wasn't it wasn't that far, man.
What we were seeing was of like all their conversations taking place as they walked away from all. That was all real time. So whatever, add up those conversations, like probably like maybe 20 minutes.
30
they were
minutes away
they
from
were
the
like
wall.
20 minutes away from the wall, dude. The wall was right there. Yeah. The North is spoiler. The North is fucking enormous, and she just finds him.
Dude, she got that fucking Dragon Ball radar, dude.
True. She's got that short king radar, am I right? She can
short
hone
king
in on
Dragon
that.
Ball radar. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, let's move on. Let's stop being those fucking assholes. I mean, we're gonna keep being those fucking assholes the rest of this episode, but like, let's just move it along here.
Okay. When are we talking about the Night King now? By the way, speaking of the Night King, I'm all for Beric having a plan. He's the only one of these dipshits with any good ideas. Like, the Lord of Light brought us back for a reason, bro. Me and you, let's go kill that fucker. And I'm like, let's go, Beric. Hell yeah. And John's like, no, Daenerys. Our only chance is Daenerys. I'm like, fuck you, John. God damn it. John, you're so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, the writers were like,
no, we can't have that.
this would make too much sense.
Yeah, that would make
episode.
too much sense. That would make too much sense.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to talk about the Night King now.
Yeah.
So Sandor breaks the ice. They get rushed. They have a fight.
No, he doesn't break the ice specifically. That's how they know.
Oh, that's
Well,
what
I guess
said.
then actually later he does break the ice. It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
rush them. They fight. They almost die. Daenerys shows up. First question.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't the Night King just, if he has this capability, why didn't he just kill them?
My dude is strong, bro.
Dude, he just stands there watching these people in the middle of the lake.
Why
doing nothing?
Okay, this one has, I'll give them the little tiniest bit benefit of the doubt on this one, because yes, like, why during the minimum one night stay they had on that rock, why wasn't he just chucking ice spears? For sure. The one out there is on that one, again, biggest benefit of the doubt ever, is he's trying to lure these dragons north because he somehow knows that's gonna happen.
It would explain why he just has industrial size fucking chain at the ready.
Yeah, also that. Okay, this is a very small quibble for how many big quibbles are in this episode, but it pissed me off way more than it should. He at one point just straight walks through dragon fire, and that pisses me off. Like,
oh, that is you're right. Yeah, that is dragon fire.
Dragon fire is not normal fire. That is like magical ass fire. He should not be just walking right through it. That pissed me off way more than it should have. Anyway.
I remember that being made a really big deal at the time.
Was it?
Like, apparently Dragonfire can't kill White Walkers.
Well, true, apparently.
Yeah.
Here's what happened here. This is my theory. This, again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. The Night King was like, turned to his buddies off screen and was like, check this shit out. Killing that dragon, that big old dragon sitting right there. Too easy, bro. Not for me. I'm going to show you guys what's up, how cool I am. I'm going to kill that flying one. And his buddies are like, no, dude. No, go for the easy one. Go for the easy one, bro. It's right there. You're like 5 feet away from me. He's like, nah, bro. No, I got this. Steps back to half court. This is like, you like, oh, you can take the free throw. No, I'm stepping back for the half court shot just because I can. And that's the reason he didn't throw the spear at Drogon. Who's not moving and it has all the heroes also on him.
It's something else, man. It's a hell of a decision. But hey, I guess he needed a blue eyes white dragon somehow. So
yeah, true.
I suppose.
And then so he makes the like impossible throw to kill Viserion, but then he misses Drogon.
Trying to take flight. He's not even going that fast.
No,
like he's just
not.
trying to take flight.
Also, Drogon is thick.
Yeah.
It has been thoroughly established. Drogon is a big boy.
He's a girthy boy.
Ice beats dragon, bro. Pokemon should have taught them that. That's true, right? I haven't played a Pokemon game forever.
Ice does beat dragon.
I'm pretty sure Ice beats dragon.
You're right.
Yep.
Isn't Psychic really good against dragon too?
I don't think so.
Maybe you're right.
Isn't dragon good against dragon?
The dragon is good against dragon.
That's a weird thing. I kind of like it. I'm into it. I seriously have not played a Pokemon game in so many years.
I played Sword and Shield and thought it was Pokemon for babies, so I stopped playing.
Aren't all Pokemon games Pokemon for babies?
No, like that game is like insanely easy. There's no grinds to it. Like your Pokemon level, it's like insanely fast. It's just like really easy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then Jon gets like pissed off that this dragon is dead and just decides to go fucking sicko mode on a bunch of wights for no reason. What he had like the clearest path ever back to the dragon.
Yeah, it was like 4 steps behind him.
Yeah, but he's like, no, I'm gonna walk again. I'm gonna walk the opposite way of safety and just fuck up these wights.
Because it's gonna make a difference.
And then, yeah, like he gets knocked into the water by like 4 wights who disintegrate apparently because water is their kryptonite. And then all the wights just sprint away apparently. Because he takes like 30 minutes to climb out of the water and then he lays there for a second. But then this was also really weirdly edited because he like collapses, like passes out, and then it like cuts and shows the wights turning around, and now he's just up and like stumbling away. And I'm like, wait, when did he get up? What?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's very
so
bizarre,
bad.
dude. It's a very odd watch. And like I can see how like somebody who is not as I guess just like as not as like critical as we are could
Not
be
as
like,
anal as
oh,
we are.
there's
You can
like
say it.
there's hype stuff. There's a lot happening. It's for a little pea brain like that, it seems like there's a lot of cool shit happening. So
You're such an asshole.
I know. But it's just not, man. It's just not. This ain't it, dude. This had the chance to be cool, and this ain't it.
You know what is cool?
Cold hands.
Mr. Spinny Fire Chain himself, your boy.
I thought you were gonna say Misty Step, which is a D&D reference, and
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
it's an RPG reference.
Why was this scene necessary? Also, as like, just if you're gonna have Jon be okay by the end of the episode anyway, what is the point of this whole setup? This is literally the only thing of this is, oh, we saw Cold Hands die. That's the only thing that happens here that is necessary for where the episode ends. Like, Jon could have climbed aboard the dragon. Cold Hands could have risen up and, like, given Jon the time to climb aboard the dragon. Then they all get out of there. And we would have been at the exact same place at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But they have to have
right.
this little... Their reunion was legit, like, 2 seconds. Uncle Benjen, how? No time. Fucking get out of here. So bad, dude.
Yeah, it's something else, dude.
It's so bad. Oh, Zach, why?
So anyway, back at the wall, they make it to Eastwatch. Jon also somehow times his arrival on horseback at the same time as Daenerys and Dragon Co. get there. Unless we're to assume that they've been waiting for days or something like that.
Again, time.
Which is hilarious if they have been waiting for days, because why is it taking Jon days?
Gendry. Yeah.
On horseback, but Gendry fucking...
Nah, dude. We already established. They were like 20 minutes away from the mall. This was about the part of this episode, as I'm watching it earlier today, that I was like, how is this episode still going?
Yes.
And there was like 3 scenes after this.
Yeah.
Like, my memory told me that it ended like basically with Jon going into the water. Like, I thought the Benjen thing happened in the following episode. And I'm just like, how is this episode not over? And they still went back for a Sansa and Arya scene, dude. What the fuck?
So let's address something here that we have been talking a lot of shit on for a long time. Is people who were complaining about pacing. This is bad pacing.
Yeah.
This is bad pacing. Like, this does not... The speed of this episode does not carry well for the beats of how you're supposed to, like, consume
It's so poorly
TV.
edited,
Yeah,
specifically.
this is bad pacing.
The way it's broken up is fucking terrible.
Absolutely. This is awful.
Yeah.
Although Gendry running at the speed of sound is stupid,
Dude.
That is not a product of, or that is not bad pacing. That's just dumb.
That's just dumb writing.
Yeah.
Dude, legitimately, and I put this in my notes, I forgot to say it. The shots, the couple quick shots they did of Gendry running through the mountains is the funniest bit they have ever done in the entire show. Like, I know it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funnier than anything the Hound has ever said. Like, it genuinely made me laugh out loud to see Gendry just like haul an ass up a mountain. I'm like, this is your excuse for like, no, yeah, he made it. He can do it. He can do it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, it's cool. It's cool. Anyway.
Yeah. So John makes some bedroom eyes.
Yeah. Love those bedroom eyes.
Yeah. I mean, he does look good.
He did. You know. When he's laying down, it's not so obvious how short he is.
Yeah. He's tall in a different direction, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My guy.
Jon Snow. What he do with that mouth?
Dude, that's some good stuff. So Dany is like, ooh, you got scars. I'm into that.
I mean, who is?
And he was like, hey, really? You're going to help me. You're my queen now, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, this guy has refused her because of his people.
No. It's worse than that. She says, I'm going to help you. And then he's like...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
I misunderstood.
He's been refusing his people, and he's been refusing her because of his people this whole time. And she's finally like, yo, that guy killed my dragon. And also, I just witnessed like how bad they are. Mm-hmm. I am committed to killing them as well. And he's like, you know what? Fuck my people. And fuck my reasoning for not bending the knee before. I think you're hot. You know, I'm going to bend the knee.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, listen, when you're making those bedroom eyes at each other in that, you know, that boat room, like, things just come out like my queen. My queen, yeah. And what is so hilarious to me is even Dany is like, Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Seriously?
She's like, but what about like your people and stuff?
Bro, you just woke up from almost dying. Like, maybe take a minute. Maybe take a minute to reconsider.
It's so fucking funny. I adore this for how ass backwards it is, dude.
Yeah.
God,
they just need
so
to bang
fucking
already,
stupid.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, truly.
Like, if Jon was 100%, they'd be banging.
Oh, yeah.
If Jon was like 60%, okay, that's why they had him fall through the ice and the water. So he needed to be like, that's where they needed to get the realism in. Was like, listen, if we put like a fully healthy Jon Snow in this bedroom with each other, we can't get any audience to believe that they're not just banging. So we have to fuck him up. So there's some semblance of a reason for them not to just be like, him be doing things with that mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it was for sure.
So yeah, apparently Jon is down with the clown.
Wow,
and
that's harsh.
I mean, down to clown.
Oh, I thought you were calling Daenerys a clown.
No, I was, and then I backtracked because he said I was being mean. And she's confused about it, but she's like, "Yo, if you're gonna fucking swear fealty to me, I'm not gonna turn that down."
Yeah,
and that's the end of that scene. Yeah, she got a freebie. And then we already talked about
the Night King got a freebie too. How do you get those chains on that dragon?
Dude,
all his guys do not like water. How do you get them chains on that dragon? Listen, that's one I'm not even mad about. That's one where it's like, okay, suspend your disbelief. It's fine. But when that's like the 70th one of those this episode, dude. He got a contract.
Hey, I got a job. Can you get me a bid?
What's that thing like? What's that thing called? TaskRabbit? That like where the app where you can like get people to do like
get people to do odd jobs
and stuff. Yeah, he hit up TaskRabbit and was like, "Do you go north of the wall?"
He just posted it on Craigslist, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Odd job. Have all the gear. You'll be fine. Trust me.
You'll be fine. Trust me, bro. Source. Trust me, bro. Any final thoughts about this episode, Zach, before we do our thing?
Oh, fuck. We have to do that thing.
How we do
that in this episode.
Well, yeah. Well, that's all I got.
No, I don't have any other final thoughts other than I'm glad this episode is over.
Hell yeah, dude. And we're only one episode left in season 7. That's what I'm most stoked for. It is time for Who Be Thrown. Oh my God, how did I forget about this?
Dude.
Who Be Thrown in where we last left off. Speaking of queens, our fucking queen Gilly had taken the #1 spot because hell yeah.
Scott, have we lost our minds? Like, are we?
Definitely have. Look at this list.
Dude.
If you skipped last episode and want to know how we landed on Gilly as the #1 spot, go listen to the episode.
Go listen, because we couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sure even the episode will give you a legit answer, but hell yeah. Jamie was at 2, Gendry was at 3, Davos was at 4, and Jon Snow was at 5. I'm not going to try to unpack any of that. Gilly, I'm sorry, my queen, you do have to come down because you were not in this episode, nor was Jamie. Gendry has to stay, right? Like, Gendry 100% stays. That dude is a fucking track
The
legend.
Raven that he sends needs to be on this list, too.
Also that. Davos was barely in this episode. He's gonna, well, maybe he makes it with the way this episode goes. Jon has a case for and against him, I feel like.
Okay, let's be real here. This is actually going to be easier because of how much plot armor this episode forces on people.
I feel like #1 is easy. It's our dude Night King, right?
Yeah, it's got to be Night King.
He got what he wanted. He's got him a fancy, shiny new blue eyes white dragon. He goes 1. That's easy peasy. The rest of this,
He needs the other 2 in polymerization, dude.
hell yeah, ultimate dragon. The rest of
Yugi.
You do a pretty good Yugi's grandpa. Who else are you thinking, dude?
I mean, okay, John's gonna be on the list. Dany's gonna be on the list because she showed up and saved the day, but she did lose a dragon. But she did save the day.
I mean, I'm not against it, but she did lose a dragon.
I mean, yeah, she'll be low, but she did still save the day.
Gendry
Gendry is actually going to be on the list. That wasn't a joke.
Legitimately going to be on the list. What about this guy, Tyrion?
He has a good episode, and he kind of tells it like it is. I do like that about his scenes.
Tyrion has not been on a list for
in a fucking hot minute.
Tyrion has been stuck on whatever amount of points he's got for forever.
Do we consider anybody in Winterfell?
So I just looked at Arya and Sansa's name on here, and
Littlefinger?
And Littlefinger. I don't know, actually.
I think this is our 5.
Really?
I think this is our 5 right here.
What about Jorah? What about the Hound? What about Tormund? Audio listeners, if you can see the face that I made when I said those names.
I mean, you think they had...
What about Thoros of Myr?
Pour one out for my dude, but like...
Yeah, fuck no. I'm not
What did he do? Come on,
that.
man.
Okay, legitimately though, what about Beric for being the only one with a solid plan the entire episode?
That's a valid point.
I'm not against like Littlefinger either.
No. We're so upset with how stupid the episode was.
Yeah.
We're forgetting that, like, at the very least, somehow Jon did come out successful here.
This episode is a joke, so I want to make this list a joke.
Yeah, look, dude. It's the first 5 that we said.
Hold on, let me get rid of Beric. I think you're selling my dude. No, never mind. I can't even say that with a clear Littlefinger has legit.
He has a case.
Okay, I think next, #2, let's start putting them up here. Maybe we'll figure it out. I think next is either Tyrion or Gendry for me.
Well, do we go the person with superpowers or the person who had a good episode?
That's an excellent question. I kind of want to reward the
one good thing.
I mean, he's not perfect though. He still is like defending his plan and thinks he's outthinking Cersei. And let's go superpowers.
Okay, superpowers wins. I'm fine with that.
Let's
I
go
care so
fucking
little about this episode. I'm
superpowers.
fine with whatever you say.
That's fine. All right, Tyrion 3 then. And are you set on Daenerys, Jon? I am not set on. I think Jon does not make the list, if I'm being honest.
Dude, Jon has the thickest plot armor that's ever
He fucking
existed.
killed a White Walker too. That was
He
one
did
of
kill
our
a what?
rules.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. And
But also, one of our rules was that we always end up breaking the rule. So this is that time. He killed a White Walker. He doesn't make the list.
But for how stupid this episode was, and despite him running in the wrong direction,
oh my God,
his task was to retrieve a wight, and although it was stupid, he got it done. It's done.
All right, fine. Daenerys 4 and Jon 5 then?
Yeah.
I'm not. Littlefinger did so little. I'm not sold on him anyway. So I think it's genuinely only by default, exactly. A lack of other candidates, they're both going to make the list, even though Daenerys literally lost one nuke. And now the other side has a nuke.
Yeah. She didn't lose a nuke. She put a bow on it and gave it to their fucking opponent.
She put a bow on Drogon, and the opponent was like, nah, bro, check
I
this
want
shit
that
out.
one.
I want that one. He bamboozled them. All right, fucking end this. This is our list. Jon Snow at 5, Daenerys at 4, Tyrion at 3, Superpower Gendry at 3, and the Night King at 1.
Superpower Gendry at 2. And
My guy is going to be in the Olympics for the javelin throw for sure.
Show
Zach, what are you rating this episode?
A 2.
I'm giving it a 1.5. I was going to give it a 1, but I'm giving it a 0.5 for the Tyrion Daenerys scene because
Is this episode better or worse than Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken?
Worse. I think this might be the worst episode so far in the series. And I think I said that a couple weeks ago, too.
Okay, well, when we saw Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, we were...
Sure that would be the worst episode ever?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, no, we were wrong.
it is collective, like, a lot of people consider that the worst episode of the season, not just us.
No, they're wrong.
Okay.
They're wrong.
Yeah, this episode's really fucking bad.
It's fucking terrible.
There are hype things happening, but that does not, like... People need to learn how to take off those blinders or like those goggles. Like it's like drunk goggles.
It is like drunk goggles.
It's like just because it's hype stuff does not mean that it is inherently good. This is a bad episode.
Aside from laughing at how stupid and ridiculous it is, the only enjoyment this like genuinely I think good scene is the Tyrion Daenerys one, and like that's still it's not perfect. It's not like a great scene. It's just like, oh, this scene is a solid scene.
Yeah,
it's just like compared to what it was with, it was kind of incredible. It's a bad episode. It's so bad.
Yep.
Badly edited, badly
That's something that we didn't really like. Like we said it, but
yeah,
for all of our issues, that the editing could have helped. In some ways,
yes.
It wouldn't have changed the fact that it was stupid for the most part, but it could have helped because I don't think people understand like how impactful like appropriate pacing and beats in storytelling is, and like that can change the way that you interact with like a story.
And even just like taking aside the fact that just like it was paced so horribly and the way it was cut together. Like I said, there was such just weird edits too, where like Jon collapses and he's like passed out, and then cut to him stumbling away, and I'm like, oh, what did I miss? What are we doing? It was not a good episode. Let's stop talking about it. Zachy boy, take us the hell out of here.
Yeah, despite us bitching for so long, we appreciate you all for listening.
We love you, not this
We love
episode.
you. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for listening and watching. If you guys are new on the YouTube, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. That does help and go a long way. We haven't asked this in a hot minute, but if you guys would like to leave us a review on your favorite podcast listening app, or thumbs up the video or something like that on YouTube. Put a comment. All the things that help the algorithms. That's helps tremendously. We would appreciate it. You can follow us on the Twitter and Instagram at We Don't Want a Pod. And other than that, we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay. What was that Yoshi sound that just came out of your mouth?
I got to get the cum out of my throat.
Yeah, that's staying in the episode.
No, fuck you. You better not.